Good morning. Good morning. How are y'all? How you? Usually, the people that see me right now are the replays. So hashtag replay for replaying. Chris said he's running late. I don't know where Kayla is. I bet she's having. I know. What is the deal? Okay, let's try this again. Kayla, I've been talking to her all morning, so I bet she's having computer problems. There she is. Okay, first of all, this. So, how do I put this? Let me think how to put this. So it seems like I don't know what's wrong. I do know what's wrong with my voice. I cleaned out chicken coops yesterday, and I had on a mask the entire time. And I went in because Kayla was inside the education center. She was painting and I was cleaning out coops. And when I walked in the door, she goes, "Oh my gosh." And I went, "What?" She was like, your nose is black. And I was like, "Really?" So she said, "Take a picture." So, put your camera up. So my nose was completely black. And I'm thinking, if I was wearing a mask, how did that go through the mask and I ingested? But I did. I was sick yesterday from cleaning out the chicken coops. And so I decided that I just bought the mask that are paper. I guess they're paper. I don't know. And I realized really quick that I need something more potent for my clean out chicken coops, because it was like my throat sore. I could feel it in my lungs, just not very healthy. So anyway, okay, I'm not sure what I want to start with. Okay, I'm going to start with this. So, you know how I talk about, like, when you're a creator, you get, how do I put this in a nice way? When you're a creator, your followers worry about you. They worry about whether you're going to have a heat stroke, or they worry about, like, my animals or the safety. Like, y'all worry about me so much. And so when worrying starts, then I start getting messages. Do you know that the reason your arthritis is flared up is because you are drinking those Coke Zeros? And see, I'm the type of creator, I listen to y'all because I know you love me. So I'm like, okay, I'll stop, because I kept getting messages about me drinking Coke Zero. And I was like, okay, I'll just quit. And so I have quit. Today is, like, I don't know, probably 2 months. I don't know, 7 weeks, something like that I have not had one soda in like 7 weeks, or however long it's been. I don't keep up with the days. And so, well, then I switched to this, and I'm a silly person. I'm so silly. And I don't know. I just, I called my Coke Zeros a protein shake, being silly. So I started calling this vodka because it's clear and it's white. And so, okay, first of all, let me explain something. So when you're a creator, and I think I have almost 84,000 on Facebook, and I don't even know how, 23,000 or something like that on YouTube. I don't know. Let's look. Okay, I have 23,419 on Facebook, and I have 83,519. Okay, when you have that many following you, your notifications, and I don't have it where it dings, but like, when I hit the notification button, there is no way I can go through all those notifications. But for some reason, this person sent me this, and I don't know if it was a a private message. I don't know if it was an email. I don't know if it was a comment because I couldn't go back and find it. But like what happens is sometimes, like, let's say I'm doing a tour and my phone vibrates or something, I glance down at it and all it said was, if you're going to be doing sober living facilities at your farm, I wouldn't call your water vodka. I have no idea who said. I didn't see the person's name. I just saw the message come across in the middle of my tour. And when I went back to try to find it, I couldn't find it. But she's right. She's right. I never even thought about that. I never thought that that could be triggering if I'm going to be doing it's heavy. If I'm going to be doing sober living facilities, me and let's just say they start following me, and even if some of y'all are not and never been to my farm and you're trying to stop alcohol, let's just say, and then I'm calling this vodka, I can see where that's triggering. I guess I know everyone's different. Like, for example, my triggers, like I've had an eating disorder, right? And it's sort of under control now. Like, I don't starve myself anymore. I don't do that, but anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But things that are triggering to me, I make jokes about my triggers, like what I struggle with. I'm like, a fatty 2x4 that can't fit in the bathroom door, can't fit in her blue jeans. I'm like, I'm silly about it, and when I handle silliness, it's not a trigger to me. It's not. Triggers to me is when someone loses a bunch of weight and I see it. It's a trigger to me because I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. I'm gonna starve myself. Like, that's a trigger to me. Like, but like someone saying I'm on Weight Watchers, that's not a trigger to me. But I can see where if I'm being silly and calling this vodka, I can see it could possibly be a trigger to someone that is bothered by alcohol. So I'm going to stop calling this vodka. I'm going to stop. I need a name for this. I'm going to have to figure it out. I don't know, but maybe I call it a peach slush because peach slush. See that? No, that ain't. It's just like, I don't know. It's sometimes when I get bombarded with people's opinion, I feel like I can't do a daggum thing right. Drinking Coke Zero's wrong, calling water vodka's wrong. Like, I feel like sometimes like I can't do anything right. But then, see, that's not true because like this past yesterday, Tuesday, I posted a video on YouTube. And it was kind of like, it was all me talking. It was like probably, I thought when I did it, I was like, everybody's going to be sticking their finger up their nose watching this video. They're going to be bored. I probably won't get any views. And I was flooded with positive comments about people were so glad they watched that video. And Judy, I had no idea those things about you, because there are things that I talked about in the video that I've not talked about in my live, or other things that I have been through to get where I am today. And there's still more to the story that I haven't even said. But like, I thought, because I was feeling sorry for myself. Feeling sorry for myself. It's like, I can't do anything freaking right on social media. But then I started reading all those positive comments about my video on YouTube, and I had such peace. And I was like, Judy, these people love you. They're not being mean to you. They love you. They care about you. And quit taking things so serious, Judy. Come on. But sometimes, like sometimes if you have a bad day, let's just say, and then someone says something, you take it 10 times worse than what it meant because you're all sensitive, because you're in a bad mood or whatever. And I was like, that is me. I'm just like, sometimes it's like, and I don't think I'm the only creator that does this, but sometimes we're all over the map. Like one simple little comment could trigger us. Like, for example, I posted on YouTube, I posted a reel, a short. I'm sorry, everybody calls something different. I posted a short on YouTube of my pigeons. And there was two baby pigeons and the mother and daddy in the nest. And I thought, oh my God, that is such beauty to see the mom and the dad raising the two babies together. So I videoed it, and this person said, that ain't real. And Diane was like, oh, and I did the same thing. I was like, it ain't real. Are you kidding me? Like, how could I make this digital and make up? Anyway, it's like sometimes you see posts like that and you're like, really? Really? I mean, really? And then I don't know why I'm fixing to say this, but I am. I'm taking my Meemaw glasses off. I ain't fixing my hair because I'm hot as fire all day long. And I can't do it. It's just yesterday I was so dirty and sweaty that I had to go change clothes. I had to go change clothes, and it was about 12 o'clock. And I said, Kayla, I gotta go change clothes. I am nasty. Okay, this is what I want to say. Let's see, how do I put this? If you are one of my followers and you follow Megan, Made by Megan, is that it? Made by Megan? Megan made by. Anyway, Megan and Ellie, I want you to listen to me. So I was on his live, I don't know, a couple of days ago. And I was sitting there reading the comments as they were coming in. And I was appalled by some of the comments that I saw. And the comments that I saw was stuff like, you're so lazy, get a real job, or something. I don't remember. Something like, just negative after negative after negative. And I had talked to Ellie about it, and he said, Judy, I can't read the comments. And I said, I have your back. Ellie, I have your back. And I want to say this because if you are one of my followers and you're negative Nancy about I'm a survivor and Ellie and Megan, I want you to listen to me. They're 20-something years old. So stop before you go into negative comments and attack Ellie. Stop, pause, and break it down. You tell me what you were doing in your 20s. Were you trying to figure out life? I'm going to tell you something. My kids in their 20s are playing video games. My kids are sleeping till 2 o'clock on the weekend. Like I did the same thing in my 20s. I slept all the time because you're in the, I don't know, are you in the like the growth stage? I don't know. But in your 20s, life slaps you in the face. Because what happens is you graduate high school and you're just thrown with all these bills and trying to figure out life. Do I go to college? Oh my God, what do I do? I don't know what to do. But I want to stop you for just a minute. I want to break this down. In your 20s, I wasn't fortunate enough. Like my parents didn't make enough money, or my parents never had land. My grandparents did, but my mom lived in the city. My dad lived in the city. So we didn't inherit like 40 acres or whatever. None of us inherited that. Some 20-year-olds are blessed by future generations, or no, past generations, that land and farmland is handed down to them. Okay. Not everyone gets the opportunity to go, here's 40 acres. I don't know how many acres they have, but I'm just throwing it out there. But this was past generations of making good decisions. Okay. Like, for example, I don't know how far back Morrow Hill goes. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure how far, but it was, the land was bought by ancestors and it's passed down to future generations. Okay. And so Lester made the decision to pass down I'm a Survivor to Ellie. What an honor. What an honor. Okay. So stop for just a minute before rude comments are made to Ellie. I'm going to take up for him. I want you to ask yourself, go look in the mirror and say, I don't know exactly how old he is, 20 something, but stop for just a minute and tell me what you were doing in your 20s. What were you doing in your 20s? I was working for Hallmark, the card store. I worked at Hallmark and went to college flunking. And I slept late. I was a train wreck. Like, in your 20s, you're trying to sort of figure out life. Okay, Shane says this to me all the time. Because sometimes I get jealous of Shane because Shane does well. But Shane does well not at one job. Shane does well at two jobs. So Shane goes to work on his primary job and does really well. And then he can go and weld for like 3 hours and make what I make the whole freaking month. And sometimes I feel jealous of that. I'm like, God, I'm out here working 14 hours, sweating my butt off. And you literally go put a welding hood on for a couple hours and you make quadruple what I make. And sometimes I feel jealous. So stop for just a minute. So, and Shane says to me, when I start getting jealous of what he makes or his career, he goes, Judy, you chose your job. I chose my job. You chose your career. I chose my career. Don't be getting mad at me. So stop for just a minute and think about Ellie. Okay. He was blessed with land. I was not. Okay. His family chose their path. My family chose their path. My family chose the path to live in the city and not have shiitake mushrooms. Okay. His family in past generations chose country land and he was going to pass it down to generations. Okay. Is that Ellie's fault? No. His past generations made good, wise choices for country land. Okay. So that's not his fault. Okay. Stop. So Ellie chose his career. You chose your career. Okay. The career that Ellie has is social media. Seems crazy, doesn't it? Seems absolutely crazy that a full-time job can be social media. I know it seems nuts. It seems nuts. But let's stop for just a minute. Let's take Jason from Cog Hill Farm and Lester from I'm a Survivor. Both of those men, not 20-year-olds, both of those men chose to quit teaching. I can't remember what didn't Jason work in automobile something? I can't remember. Jason and Lester quit their career to do social media full time. It took Lester and Jason being in their 50s to figure that out. So they chose their path. Ellie watched his dad, the whole family watched Lester go from teacher to social media superstar. Okay? So Lester set this platform for his entire family. Okay? Is that Ellie's fault? No. Okay? You chose your career. Ellie chose his career. So stop and let's keep breaking this down. Okay. So Ellie watched his dad go from teaching to superstar. Let's just say, I feel like Lester's a superstar. So I'm going to call him a superstar. So Lester took his son by the hand because he watched his past generations take him by the hand. His great grandfather owned that land. And he held Lester's hand and he blessed him with this property. And the grandfather blessed all the family with this property. Okay, so the grandfather held Lester's hand, and Lester is mocking what he had in his past generations, and he's holding Ellie's hand. Okay, so Ellie has this career, okay, of being a social media star. It's crazy that you can make enough money on social media to do that. If Ellie wants to sleep to 2:00 every day, he chose his career, you chose your career. Social media allows flexibility. Just as if Shane's job allows big earnings for a little bit of time. Shane's welding is a trade, okay? He can go work for 2 hours and make 4 times as much as I make in a month. He chose that career. I chose to quit my job, take care of Larry, and have a farm and work 14 hours a day. That's what I chose, okay? Shane didn't choose that for me. I chose that. Ellie chose to have a job on social media to pay his bills. Guess what? He's successful, okay? Nowhere in the book of farming requires you to get up at 5 and go to bed at 9. And you have to do these chores at this time to be successful. No, being a farmer, you can choose your whatever hours you want. Ellie chose this career that if he wants to sleep till 10:00 or he wants to get up at 5:00 one day or he wants to travel to Mississippi to get a piglet, he doesn't have to report to a boss and say, hey, I need to take a vacation. I'm going to Mississippi to get this pig. Ellie is his own boss. Megan is her own boss. They can choose whatever works for them at any point in their life. Same with me. Does it mean that I'm lazy if I sleep till 10:00 and don't go to let the chickens out? Or I can get automatic chicken doors and those jokers can let themselves out and I could sleep to 10:00 if I wanted to. I can, because Shane teaches me work smarter, not harder. Ellie's figured it out. If you think about it, Ellie is brilliant. He's figured it out. He's figured out how to stay home, take care of him and Megan, and be flexible with his hours. So if you're one of my followers and you're on there beating up a 20-year-old, stop. Stop. If I see one of my followers on his page blowing up when you're over here, let's just say you're 50 and you're bad talking to a 20-year-old, what would you do if your child was 20 and people were beating your 20-year-old up? He's trying to figure out his life. Be kind. Be kind. If Kayla was on here with me, I'm going to tell you something. When I met him in person, the most genuine and kind couple that I've ever met. I mean, stop for just a minute. Do you see Lester or do you see Coghill Farm commenting on my page? Do they watch me live? Ellie does. Ellie is one of the few content creators that supports small farms. I consider myself small. So he is holding my hand and going, Judy, you can do this. And I'm on his lives going, Ellie, you can do this. You see? And when I'm on his live and I'm reading these comments, I'm like, y'all, he's 20. Oh my gosh. If he wants to sleep to freaking, because people were talking about him sleeping, I'm like, he's 20. We all did that in our 20s. Be kind. Break it down. Pause before you open your flipping mouth. He chose his career. You chose yours. If your butt has to get up and take a shower at 5 o'clock in the morning and walk out the door at 6 o'clock, that's the path you chose. Okay? You chose that path. Don't be mad at Ellie. Ellie has a flexible schedule. He can do whatever the flip he wants. If he wants to stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning and play videos, guess what? His bills are paid. He can do whatever the flip he wants to do because he chose that path. You see what I'm saying? Okay. I'm switching the subject. Ellie and Megan, I freaking love y'all. Okay. We're going to talk about this. Okay. So, Kayla's going to love this. So, this is the foundation that Kayla uses. I forgot. It's Estee Lauder. I do not make kickbacks from this. I'm just telling y'all. Okay. It's Estee Lauder Double Wear. And she said, Judy, this makeup does not come off. Like sometimes I use soap and water and I have to scrub it off. And I was like, oh, I need that because I'm out there sweating my poo-poo off. Okay. So yes, so I went and got it. Okay. Let me show you how well this makeup stays on. So yesterday, I'm out of foundation. I'm taking the top off. Ah, sugar. Look. I'm taking the top off, right? I'm taking the top off. I just sprayed it all over myself because I don't have enough in it. I'm doing this number, right? Well, it accidentally spills on my brand new purple walls. I don't know if y'all can see this. Do you see that? Let's see. Let me get you closer. Do you see that and that where it spewed on my wall? Kayla wasn't kidding when she said that crap doesn't come off. I have used a magic eraser. I have used Clorox. I have used like every cleaner known to man trying to get this foundation off my purple wall. That joker ain't coming. It ain't coming off. It literally is not coming off. And I'm like, now that's some serious foundation. That is some serious foundation. For me to accidentally get it on the wall and that joker is not it's not coming off. This is like so if you're like me and the career that you chose and the path you chose is sweating your tail off outside. Oh, Estee Lauder, she is it a she? She killed it with this foundation. That son of a gun ain't coming. It ain't coming off. It ain't coming off. So, I feel like Estee Lauder owes me some touch-up paint for my wall. Shane hadn't noticed it yet. But I'm telling you, I got a washcloth and was scrubbing. That joker ain't coming. It is not coming off. So if the career you chose is outside, listen, Estee Lauder's your best friend. It ain't coming off. And you're a makeup girl and you need your makeup to stay on. Kayla needs to contact Estee Lauder and say, hey, I can sell your foundation. Because I'm telling you, it ain't coming off. It is not. So, okay, let's see. What else was I going to talk about? Yesterday was just, I was miserable. And I was like, again, I was out there and I was like, I chose my path. Shane chose, because like his primary job, I say he's in the air conditioning. He says he's not. But Shane, I can't get my ponytail out. Shane is a welding instructor. What is the deal? I can't get my hair. What in the? Oh, shoot. It's going to be one of those days. Shane, if you don't know, he has taught welding in a classroom setting his whole life. No, not his whole life. Okay, he used to work on the road welding, but when he had kids, he realized real quickly that being away from his kids wasn't working. So he went and got his teaching certification and started teaching welding. Well, y'all know teachers don't make that much money, right? So he taught school, like high school and college. I'm going to say 15, 18 years. And so now he doesn't teach in a class. He does teach in a classroom setting, but he works for the state of Alabama. Okay, so this is the only way I know how to explain it. So when the state of Alabama is trying to get plants, big, huge plants to come to Alabama, they make deals with these, like, let's just say Toyota, because I know that's one of his customers. So when the state of Alabama is trying to get Toyota to have a car lot, let's just say, in Alabama, they make a deal and say, hey, if you bring Toyota to Decatur, we will certify every one of your welders. So then the state of Alabama has this facility that they do training in. They do robotic training. They do welding. They teach people how to paint cars. I don't know what all they do. They teach OSHA training. I don't know. So the state of Alabama says, we'll do all your OSHA training and we will certify all your welders if you bring a plant to North Alabama. So they go, done. So then Toyota sends all their welding employees that are hired in to Shane for OSHA training and for welding training. So they have to go get certified by Shane before they go on the job. That's what Shane does. It's the only way I know how to explain it. I don't know if he would explain it the same way, but that's what he does. And then Shane has owned his own business, I can't put on makeup because I don't have any, because Diane won't remind me to go get makeup. um, he has had his own business. He repairs all refrigeration companies like Tyson Chicken and Wayne's Farm Chicken. Like, he goes into those plants and he repairs all their freezers and the refrigeration portion. So whatever a coal is, I know he fixes a lot of coals. I don't know what that is really, but I know he does a lot of that. And he's worked in like Ready Ice, the little ice machines that are everywhere. Shane does all the repairing at the corporate office. That's what he does on the side. So yesterday, I'm not getting ready. I'm just going to sit here and look like who to thunk it. So yesterday, while I was cleaning out the coops, Kayla was working in the education center because she paints better than me. So she was doing all the painting while I was cleaning out the coops. And when she left, I was physically sick, so I had to sit down a minute, take some aspirin. Well, then I want y'all to know this touched me in so many ways. So, my castle coop that I just had done? Well, that was a woman that built that coop. A man didn't help her. She built the entire coop by herself. I'm like, dang, I wish I could do that. She chose her career. I chose mine. Okay. So anyway, I had an instant. I can't even talk. I had a situation last week that didn't go over well. My neighbor's dog keeps killing my chickens, and it's been almost every day for a long time. And I just, because some of these chickens were $100 chickens, they're show chickens. And so basically it got to the point where I had to go to the next step. And so the police came out here, and she said that they said that my peacocks are roosting on their house and keeping them awake all night. Okay, well, we're going to stick with facts. So at 9:00 at night, when all the animals are in the bed, my peacocks are in the top of the tree roosting. I doubt they get up in the middle of the night and go over there, but listen, my peacocks roam. It's in my children's book. My peacocks like to go to my neighbors for fun get-togethers. Peacocks roam. So whether it's the truth or not, my peacocks have probably been in their yard. And they said that that my peacocks are eating their bugs out of their yard, and they want the bugs to stay in their yard. So in the past, last year, my peacock got ran over by a car. And so I have needed a new peacock enclosure, but my peacocks love to free range, and I love for them to free range, but it's becoming a problem with my neighbors, and I get it. So immediately when the police told me that my peacocks were on the roof of their house all night long, I had never been told that. They have never called and told me, hey, your peacocks are on my roof screaming all night. Because I would think I would be able to hear it, but it doesn't matter. The fact is, they're my responsibility, and I need to keep my peacocks on my property at the end of the day, whether it's the truth or they're not the truth. The animals are my responsibility, and I need to take care of it. So immediately, as soon as the police left my house, I said, I'm putting my peacocks in the enclosure. Well, they free range, and I wasn't for sure if I was going to be able to get them in the enclosure, because they said that if my peacocks were on their property or my chickens, they're shooting them. So I said, okay, this is serious. I was able to get the peacocks in the enclosure immediately. Immediately. Thank God. So the two girls were in my rescue duck unit, and I have two boys. The boys, I had to go put, y'all, it was terrible, in this little bitty coop. It's all I had. And I made an Amazon order to get a huge run to put them in. Okay. So I had to dump some money to get that in Peacock. I had to get it quick. So yesterday, the Peacock enclosure came in. Okay. It is the biggest enclosure that I have on my property. So it was going to take a minute to put together. Well, I want you to know, I was talking to the lady that built my coop, because she's building the jail cell for the pigeons. And I said, listen, I had told her when she came to my house to put the coop, I said, I've got to build a peacock enclosure. I was like, immediately, like, I need you to help me. And so we came up with this plan. So when it was delivered, she goes, I sent her a message because the peacock enclosure wasn't supposed to be delivered until next week. Praise Jesus, it was delivered yesterday. Okay, because this right now, my gorgeous peacock that has a beautiful train has no train, because it's been in this little bitty run for, I'm going to say a week. It's been in this little bitty run for a week, and it lost all its it was miserable. But I was like, Roland, it's like this. You either get a bullet in your head or you stay here until this coop gets here. Like, those are my choices. You're going to have to stay here and lose your train. I love you. I'm so sorry, but this is what has to happen because this is immediate. You can't be on people's houses. So yesterday, I sent, her name's Kelly, the girl that built my coop. I sent Kelly a message and I said, hey, the coop came in early. And she said, oh, great. Next thing I know, Kelly's texting me and saying, hey, I'm at your farm. And I was like, what is she at my farm? I thought maybe she was going to take measurements for the jail cell. She brought her and her husband and her employees to my farm and said, come on, we're going to help you put up this peacock enclosure. I was like, are you serious? She said, yes. I know that your peacock is suffering and I'm coming to help you. It took us 4.5 hours with 5 people to put up that enclosure yesterday. So on top of cleaning out the coops, we put this peacock enclosure together. And last night we were able to reunite the peacocks, and they had this huge run. It's not finished. It's not finished. What we're going to do is we have the run so they have plenty of room. But she's building this 10-foot tower, okay, that's round. It's a 10-foot tower that's going to go way up in the air. And there's going to be roosting bars where the peacocks can feel like they're in a pine tree, and they can go up there and roost at night, because peacocks go way up high to roost. So the 10-foot tower, and I also, let me show you what I bought. I'll show you what I bought. Amazon. I can't think. Oh, she bought it. I bought it, but she ordered it because she has to put it together at her house. Hang on, I'm gonna show it to you though. Wait, I think she sent it in a text. But this was, if you have peacocks, this is a great idea. Let me see. I mean, it was a little bit expensive, but okay. You see these? I bought 2 of them. I bought a smaller one that's like 7 foot. So when the peacocks are on the ground during the day, they have a place to get up and roost because peacocks like to do that. So one of these is going to be inside the run. And then this big one right here. Okay, imagine this. So there's this huge tower. This thing is flipped upside down and makes the top dome for the tower. So the it's going to be like on the side, and it's going to go way up in the sky with a dome. So the peacocks are going to have that. But I want to raise the let me show you what the run looks like. Oh shoot. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there. You see how big that is? That's what they're in right now. It's 4 sections. So it's long and big. It's 10 foot wide. And then I can't remember how many feet long. Let's see if it says 25 feet long. I'm sorry, it's 9 foot wide and 25 feet long. So it's that. That's what took us 4.5 hours to put up last night. But y'all, what a blessing. I mean, they came over and worked brought their employees. They own a sawmill. They brought their employees, paid them to come to my farm to help me put up this peacock enclosure. I felt I felt like Santa Claus came to my house last night. And I saw in my head, that's some nice people. To not expect me to pay them to come to my farm to help me because they know my peacocks are struggling. That is a blessing. And that is, I've never, like in my life, I mean, I don't even really know her. I've just gotten to know her through building my coops, but that's a friend. That's someone who cares about Sneed's farmhouse and about animals. You know what I'm saying? Is that not such a blessing? So that happened yesterday. So the next step is she's in the process of building the jail cell for the peacocks, and then she's going to start. She's going on vacation tomorrow, so she's building the jail cell now, and then she'll come back up after the jail cell and build the tower for the peacocks. So sweet. So sweet. Okay, let me look at my notes. I hadn't even talked about anything with mental health. Well, I sort of did with Ellie. I sort of did. Um okay. I I feel like this is your little mental health session right here. The word discipline. We have to have discipline to do anything that we set our mind to. Like giving up Coke Zero, going on a diet, going to work every day, um, making good choices, like because everything has to be discipline. Like discipline is the main key for everything. And I was sitting here last night or yesterday on top of cleaning out a coop, on top of putting a peacock enclosure together. I had all y'all in my mind, and I was trying to record for y'all so you could see what all is going on at Sneed's farmhouse. And I was sitting there and I was like, this, because Kelly was talking to me about, because they're going on vacation. I was like, I don't even know what it's like to go on vacation. Like, I haven't been on vacation. Well, I've been with Shane for 9 years. We've been married for 7. I hadn't even been on a weekend vacation since the day we got married. So in 7 years, I hadn't even gone one place. Like, I'm not well, I'm sorry, I'm a lie. I'm a dang lie. I went to Ohio for business because I had that photo shoot with Kalmbach because they put me on their feed book, the cover of their feed book. I did go there, but um, I haven't really been on a vacation, like to the beach or to the mountains. And sometimes, like I see, like I saw Jason and Brooke go to Maine, and I saw Arms Family Farm. They go on a lot of vacations, and I'm like, how do they do that? Like, and I'm like, Judy is here every day, busting butt, 12, 14 hours a day, every day, killing it, killing it, killing it. I'm like, when does it stop? And I feel like I've had to get to where I am today. It has been disciplined. It has been like me getting up, going live, finding a topic to talk about, and telling my life stories and where I jack up and how jacked up my brain is saying that out loud is discipline. Like, it is discipline showing up every Monday and Wednesday at 7 a.m., just like it's discipline for you to get up and watch live at 7 a.m. And I was like, where does my discipline come from? Like, how did I, as people say, how do you do it? And I was like, how did I just cold something that I was addicted to, Coke Zero? How did I just cold turkey quit and start drinking water? Like, how did I do that? And I've had to think about it. Because once I set my mind to something, I am a machine. But it's like getting my mind made up to do it. That's the hard part. Once I make up my mind, it's easy for me. But it's getting my mind to where I need to have it focused is where I slack. Like, okay, Judy, you're so jacked up over this eating. Like, you've got to conquer this jacked up brain of yours of, I'm fat, I'm fatty 2x4 that can't get through the bathroom door. Like, I gotta stop that. Like, how do I stop this brain from spinning over all this crap? Like, how can I be so disciplined with Coke Zero, but I can't change my life forever? I can only change it in chunks. Like, I can get disciplined and I can make a commitment to making good, healthy choices with the eating. And then I just go off the deep end and eat ice cream and cookies and all that crap and go back to where I am. Like, why can't I be like this the rest of my life? Like, why can't I find the balance and the discipline to last a lifetime instead of just like temporary? Like, often in the past week, with me being out there sweating, and I've been craving a Coke Zero. It just sounds so, because my cooler, my little refrigerator that's in my garage, it's really, really cold in there, and it makes your drinks a little slushy. My drinks are so good in that cooler. Okay, I'm just telling you, like, so good. So sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to discipline myself, because if you think about it, I told you my eating disorder. It was either starve myself or gorge myself. There was no in between. Coke Zero. It's either cold turkey, stop it, or drink a gazillion. There's no in between. How do I just drink one and maybe not drink another one for a couple of days? I'm either drinking Coke Zeros nonstop and never drinking water, or I'm just stopping it cold turkey. Do you see this pattern? Do you see this unhealthy, like me drinking this nonstop and not allowing myself a Coke? Do you see how I'm extreme one way or the other? And this is out of balance. Even though this is a better choice for me, but I'm out of balance because I'm either extreme one way or I'm extreme the other. And I'm noticing this repeated behavior in everything that I do. And I'm like, what is this? Because I can be disciplined and do this, but I fall off the wagon the second that I drink a Coke Zero. I go to the extreme the other way, and then I'm like, I got to start all over. So how do I do this? I don't know. I wished I had the answer. And when it's all about discipline. It's all about balance. And I talk about it all the freaking time because I struggle with it. And I'm thinking, how do you eat in moderation? How do you not go on this strict diet, but you don't overeat? How do you just go, okay, I'm not going on a diet. How do you just eat in moderation and don't maybe have a cookie, but don't eat 6? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because it's almost like when I get a taste of something that tastes really good, I'm like, just I can't stop. And when I'm in the middle of being out of control, my brain doesn't kick in. It doesn't kick in. Hey, fat butt, you just had 45 cookies. It happens after they've already been in my mouth and I've chewed it, swallowed it, it is in my gut. And then I'm like, hey, dude, you just ate 45 cookies. That probably wasn't the best decision, Judy. Okay, I'm not going to eat 45. That's an exaggeration. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to find the balance, and the balance is going to happen with the word discipline. And the only way to me to be disciplined when if you're like me and like you're extreme one way or the other. I mean, if you weren't like that, you would be in perfect health, right? You would be balanced. But majority of us human beings are not balanced. We're like, say for example, Christmas is coming up and you're like, oh Lord, I'm fixing to gain pounds at Christmas because I can't control myself with that dressing and that gravy and that turkey and all the desserts. I can't control myself. What if we had so much discipline when it came to Christmas that we ate a plate? We didn't deprive ourselves. We ate the dressing, but we ate proportioned. Could you imagine? Can you imagine being balanced at all times? Okay. I have to think about this. I don't have the answer. I'm just trying to figure it out because I'm not there. I'm a good preacher, but I'm not a good doer sometimes. And I'm thinking in my head, what makes me do this? I'm either strict one way or terrible the other. Like, why can't I be balanced? I feel like I know personally with myself, I feel like, I talk about being balanced. You have to be physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in balance. And if one thing gets off balance, you're jacked. I feel like and Christian people may beat me up on this, and I do love the Lord, but I feel like it starts with mental health personally, because it's hard to work on your spiritual health if you ain't there mentally. That's me personally. So I feel like it starts with mental health, like figuring out why you do the things you do. Like, do you see repeated behavior in yourself? Like, I don't know. I don't know what, maybe like when you get mad, you do the same thing. You go to La La Land because you got triggered, and next thing you know, you're homeless, living on the streets, and you're looking for a box, and You're looking, how am I going to get my covers during the winter? Like, do you go to outer space when you get triggered? Like, what repeated behavior keeps coming up? Where mine is, I call it dialect, extreme one way or extreme the other. I'm either not eating at all, or I'm gorging myself, or I'm not drinking Coke Zero at all, or I'm drinking total water, or I'm drinking Coke Zeros nonstop. Like, what do you do that's repeated behavior? And a lot of times we don't recognize it. A lot of times we do not recognize it. But you have to sit and think about it. Like, how am I jacked up? What do I need to work on? Like, what drives me crazy? What thought is in this brain that never leaves? Like, what keeps coming back here? And why do I think why am I obsessing over this? What causes, I know me personally, what causes me to have obsessive thoughts, it's when when I can't control something. If I can't control it, I obsess over it, trying to figure out how to control it. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I feel like with the word discipline, like, I need to force myself to drink a Coke Zero and go, okay, we got to work on balance. It ain't like you can go forever without drinking a Coke Zero, Judy. I mean, that's really stupid. Okay. Like, it's not the end of the world if you drink a Coke Zero, but you have to do it in moderation, maybe once every blue moon. Like, I know personally, like, there's certain things that I can't do. I told you I have an overactive bladder. If I drink unsweet tea or sweet tea at supper, this chickie mama's going to pee all night long. I know medically I can't do that. I can drink an unsweet tea for breakfast or lunch and I'm fine. But if I drink it for supper, I'm not sleeping. I'm going to be up all night. So, like, what causes you to not get it together? Like, get it together, Judy. Get it together. Work on your balance. I just feel like I do pull my strength. Like, I do believe the person that brings the awareness to my brain is the Holy Spirit. I don't know if you're religious or not. And if you're not, you're still safe here. I'm just talking about myself. I do believe that when my brain goes to, oh, Judy, you owe her an apology, or, oh, Judy, you're drinking 15 Coke Zeros a day, I really feel like I'm being convicted. And I feel like the Holy Spirit convicts me. That's me personally. So I do believe when the thought comes to my mind, I need to do something with it. Because if I'm thinking about it, then it's something that's not jiving with me. So I do believe that I pull my strength from God, but I find myself, now I don't know if y'all are like me, but if I find myself in constant prayer about, let's just say, my weight, I become obsessive. And I'm crying, God, I can't get this off my mind. Please take this away. When I'm in desperation prayer, please take this away from me. My gosh, it's interrupting my happiness, my wholeness. Like, I can't do that. I cannot go to God in desperation because I become obsessive. I have to pray like, Lord, convict me where I'm going wrong. Convict me where I'm going wrong. Help me get on the right path. You know my thought process. You made me. You know what's going through this brain. You know what I struggle with. Help me help other people. And in return, it helps me. That's what I feel like my discipline comes from. Because, like, for example, you guys, I don't want to let you down. I'm going to show up at 7 o'clock because I love you as much as you love me. We're friends. I feel like we're family personally. And I do this in discipline because I know you love me. And so many of you were sending me messages telling me that my arthritis was triggered by Coke Zeros. Well, I'm just going to tell you, Joker, something. Oh, I can't say that because y'all think I'm being ugly. Let me just tell y'all. I do feel better. I do feel better drinking water. I'm not going to lie. My arthritis is still being triggered. The arthritis right now is in my foot. My foot has been swollen for 2 days. Like, I'm talking the side of my ankle is purple. It looks like I've broken my ankle. And this happens because my arthritis, it 1 minute it'll be my elbow, then it'll be my thumb, then it'll be my back, then it like travels through my body. And right now it's in my foot and there's a flare up. And I have not drank Coke Zero at all in probably 2 months. And it is there. So I'm sure not drinking Coke Zero is probably a good thing for my kidneys, considering I have kidney problems. But as far as my arthritis, my ankle is huge. By the end of the day, it is throbbing and I'm limping. Okay. But I feel like I don't want to let you down. And if I was out, let's just say at Denny's, and I got a Coke Zero, and one of you jokers walked in the door and went, she lies. She's a dang lie. She's over here drinking her Coke Zero. She's a dang lie. She gets on here on social media and pretends like she just drinks her water. Nah, she's a dang lie. I don't want to let you down. But again, it's all about balance. There's nothing wrong with me drinking a Coke Zero, but it's not good to drink it 14 times a day. Drinking one every now and then is in moderation, and that's how we need to be. We need to be working in moderation, not extreme one way or the other, not totally restricting ourselves that we never can eat a cookie again. We're going on a diet. That's what makes us fail. Is when we totally deprive ourselves. That's what makes us fail. And a part of discipline is balance. And we have to figure out, and I feel like all of our balance looks different because we're differently made. Our makeup's totally different. Like, some of us obsess about weight, some of us obsess about drinking, some of us obsess about, I don't know, eating fruit. If you eat too much fruit, you're going to sit on the toilet all day long, even though fruit is a better decision. It's got sugar in it. If you're a diabetic, fruit's not the best choice for you without protein. So, like, it's finding the discipline is finding the balance. And you and I, we need to make a lifestyle change with whatever you're struggling with mentally. It has to be a lifestyle change. It can't be, I'm fixed to go on Weight Watchers and I'm going to do this the rest of my life. I'm not eating a cookie the rest of my life. That's a lie. That's a dang lie. As soon as you eat one of those cookies, you're going to gorge yourself because it tastes so good. And then you're going to be in left field depressed because you cheated on your diet. This has to be a life. This has to be about balance. This is not about taking things away. It's about finding how to control it. And I feel like that's where discipline comes from. And I ain't there yet. I ain't perfect. I'm not there. I am going to drink a Coke Zero today. I really would rather have the peach sun-kissed than the Coke Zero. So I'm really probably going to drink the peach sun-kissed and not drink the Coke Zero. But I have to work on myself to go, if I drink that and have that craving, what's going to keep me in balance so that I don't go get it again and then become obsessive about it? Balance. That's how you become disciplined, is balance. And I am not a good example of balance. I'm either strict one way or strict the other. And the people, like, I know what you're talking about, because I've been in the gym my whole life. I used to personal train, and I used to tell them to pick one day as their cheat day. You need to have, and I will tell you, when I was strict on Weight Watchers and I had a cheat day, it did not affect me. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having a cheat day, but the cheat day has to be in moderation. If you have a cheat day and you drink peach Sunkist all day long, you have to go detox yourself on Monday. If your cheat day's on Sunday, you're detoxing on Monday. Because then you're going to find yourself still wanting to drink the peach, and you're not drinking your water again, and then your kidneys are all jacked up. It's all about moderation. All right, guys. Find today or this week, until we meet again Monday, think about what you're obsessed with. Even if it has nothing to do with a drink or food, what are you obsessed with? What do you need to find balance with? Figure it out. Figure out what you need to work on. What keeps you out of whack? And work on it. But you have to break it down to figure out what you need to work on. And you got to figure out why you do the things you do. And the majority of the time, when you break it down and try to figure out why you do the things you do, is because of triggers that happened when you were young. That's usually, I think that my eating disorder is from being a cheerleader my whole life and being an aerobic instructor my whole life. And I had to be, I was on stage, and I had to present this image. Nobody wants to go to aerobics, to a fat girl's class, Like, I think that that's where the jacked up in my head. I was a dancer from the time I was little to the time I was in costumes on stage. Nobody wants a fat dancer, So, like, I think that's where it jacked me up. And I can't go back and change that. But I have to recognize where my triggers come from, and I have to recognize what is good behavior and what is bad behavior, and how do I get balanced with that? Like, don't weigh 120, Judy, but you don't need to weigh 168 either. You need to find somewhere in the middle. Getting on the scale to me is a trigger. You have to figure out what your triggers are that take you back to childhood and all that jacked up thoughts you have. I love y'all. I do. I really, really do. Group home comes today. Kayla's going to finish painting today. She seems depressed. She just lays in her house all day. But anyway, the peacocks are happy. All right, I'll have a video come out tomorrow, so I'll have to edit this tonight or today. I put in a lot of hard work. I know y'all know it, but I put in a lot of hard work on my social media, simply because I want y'all to get to dancing, I guess is what the word is so many people sit it out because they think they're not good at it, or they think that I'm too old to do this, or I'm too old to change. I'm set in my ways. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. That's not true. That's lies that you tell yourself. I don't care what age you are, you can make a difference in someone's life. I look at the followers that I have, and majority of the followers that I have are between 55 and up. And I'm 53. I'm your age too. And I'm here to tell you that you can change your life in your 50s or above. You can. we're walking history books. We can make differences in these. Like, can you imagine if you, like I talked about LE, you're an older person and you know what it was like in your 20s and you were mindful of that and go, Ellie, you're doing a fantastic job. You are. Keep it up. Encouraging our younger population helps them make better decisions. When they see what they're doing right instead of everything they're doing wrong, when they see what they're doing right, they respect the elder. But when you're negative Nancy and, oh, you lazy, oh my God, you've been handed everything, you're spoiled rotten. If you would change your ways, you would be you're just worthless. Oh, really? Do you think he's listening to that? Do you think if you're attacking me, telling me I'm a train wreck and I don't take care of my animals and you do too much and blah, 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 I'm not listening. I'm crying and I've got my feelings hurt. There's a tactful way of saying things. And a positive comment and seeing something someone's doing good, believe it or not, it goes a long way. Kindness goes a long way with someone because I'm going to here to tell you all of us work really hard no matter what your career path was or is or whatever. We all work and have to show up, and it is hard living in this world. Kindness goes a long way. When I was getting kindness yesterday, because I was freaking tired yesterday, and kindness warms your heart. You know, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But look for the good. Look for the good in people. You know, if you're in the grocery store and you turn around, this lady has on this bright blue shirt and it's making her blue eyes just glow. Imagine if you turn around, you know what? Your eyes in that shirt are absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Instead of going, I don't know, something negative. You know, notice the good. Goodness goes a long way. And by showing the good and noticing the good, that's what I call dancing. So forget all negative thoughts. Stick with the positive. You have choices today. You can sit it out or you can dance. And I hope you dance. I will see y'all next week. Bye.